Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to At the Gates. We've started a new game here. We're going to try to take advantage of the knowledge that we accumulated over our last game, and I have to say immediately this start looks a lot friendlier. Also, a lot of mineral deposits, which I'm very interested in. Notice how the river breaks our natural border. That's interesting. I would not have expected that. Alright, so let's have a look at our starting clans here. We have Clan Warren, Hillmen, and Peddlers. They do not need extra movement to enter hill tiles, and we had peddlers last time. This generate treasure for us. That's pretty handy. Clan Rolf is perceptive and confident. Morale increased by half, and +1 vision range. Seems like these guys would maybe make good explorers. I don't think morale is super relevant to exploring, but morale is used in battle, right? And then we have Clan Aland, resourceful, never has desires, and gentle, wants to be in a civilian profession. So does this just mean not honor? Okay, it means not specifically warrior professions. So actually, this is like everything that's not honor and then also about half of honor. Okay, well, I think we've got a pretty strong start here in a bunch of different ways. So let's train up a digger first. How about that? I think that's probably a good idea. So, let's start by... Let me set this back to... Yeah. Okay, let's start by doing this. We're going to train a clan... Like, what do we have around us that's actually revealed? We have some wheat and some other wheat. Less wheat, but still wheat. Alright, so one of you guys is becoming a reaper. Because it doesn't much matter who, does it? Okay, you guys can become a reaper for now. We'll give the metalworking bonus to one of the other clans and then train them as a digger. So it'll be a little bit faster, it looks like, to run this guy over to here. Oh, we got enemies. We can switch a clan's... sorry, we should actually look at our new strong and dutiful clan, Clan Mannheim. Starts with 4 levels in honor. They never gain experience in discovery. They never have desires or feuds. They will never engage in brawls. And they'll get really mad if they're not in the honor profession. Well, it seems like we found our warrior. Likely to get upset if forced into the discovery discipline, which they are bad at. They have +1 natural power and -1 turn to train in warrior professions. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pick up honor real quick for that guy. We're going to... Who do we want to give our digger thing to? Probably not you. Yeah, let's make Clan Warren our metalworkers. And then train them as diggers. So this is an archer. These are neutrals. These are not bandits. I think the difference between neutrals and bandits is that neutrals are not aggressive. There was definitely something about this in one of the tooltips. I can't remember if that was one that I read on camera or off. Clan Reynald, Craven and Disgraced, has joined our tribe. I guess we couldn't keep up that streak of incredible clans forever. So they cannot be trained in social professions or ennobled. They're not super likely to have desires. They will not attack enemy armies. They have terrible morale. They do have extra movement. To be perfectly honest, this guy would probably not make a terrible explorer, right? Alright, so we can give +2 levels of honor to somebody. The question is, do we want to have Clan Rolf also be a fighty guy? I don't actually even know if it's better to have a clan with 2 levels of the thing and a clan with 4 levels of the thing each doing the job, or a clan with 6 levels and no levels each doing the job. I guess let's really focus up. Let's make Clan Mannheim really great at fighting. And then we're going to pick up Archer really early. We're going to have to get some weapons to train them, but that first Caravan has tended to have weapons, right? And so we're not going to train them just yet. We don't yet have for you... And we can make them explorers. Bad fighters, but they move fast. It seems like a good fit. So you can just figure out what this deposit is. You, I think, can safely forage here. I don't think these guys are going to mess with us. All right, we're going to have another clan next turn. We just don't have anything to do this turn. So presumably, like, it will be valuable for us to take this farm away from them. I don't know. I guess we just kill them and move on to it and don't pillage it, right? Clan Landbert. The Wasteful Reapers. We left a few supplies behind to lighten our loads, figuring you'd have replacements. Oh, good. So resource production is bad. They do not like to be on non-supplied tiles. They are already reapers. Well, okay. I mean, I have a place for you. So this is our explorer. Where do we want to take him? Let's take him up this way. Alright, so that's a bandit camp. Here we have an animal deposit, some berries, more plants. This is a much, much lusher area than our last start. Guess we can pop these guys out and have them start reaping up here. And you, we're not ready to train the archer just yet, so what do I want to do with you? I guess, actually, we need a wood collector right now. I might have him become something else later, but we're going to need timber in our early game, right? And we actually have a ton of places to get it. Last game, I kind of felt like I was struggling to make sure everybody had something to do. This time, I'm feeling very much the opposite. We have so many things to do. The caravan has arrived, and it is selling weapons, which is wonderful. We're definitely going to buy all of those. And then, like, this is just food. Not that we don't need food, but also we're gathering food pretty effectively right now, and it's going to get even better. I'm going to buy these. We're going to buy parchment. Not that we need parchment right now. You know, maybe that's a good reason not to buy parchment right now. Maybe we just sit on the money. We can upgrade the caravan, too. I didn't even notice this. You can spend treasure to bribe the caravan owner to bring a larger and more diverse quality of goods, starting with the next time they visit. After spending 10 treasure, future caravans will reliably have even more tools and weapons. Yeah, okay. 10 treasure? I'll give them 10 treasure. I don't think we need to buy any of that other stuff there. Alright, our explorer will just walk far away from those bandits. We have quite a few animals over here. Alright, what are we studying next? There's certainly an argument to be made that it's worth going to get surveyors, replacing our explorers with surveyors, because identification of nodes is a real problem. But man, there's so many directions we can go. Watchmen. Watchmen are important, right? Yeah. Let's get watchmen. We're going to try actually building some watchtowers and securing some distant deposits in that way. We've identified an iron deposit. Hey, that's a pretty handy type of deposit to have. Alright, so our digger could go and get some other stuff. Could go and identify other stuff. But let's get this iron. We're going to be able to actually build tools this time, which is very cool. I don't know that it particularly matters where we gather the wood from. Quite a lot of wood here. Alright, we're definitely going to train these guys as archers now. I don't think I want to wait until we have access to, like, spearmen or anything. And they are unnaturally powerful archers. Clan Owl, aggressive and adaptable, has joined us. And also, we've met some Picts. So no extra training time for switching disciplines. Attack power increased by 1/4, but more likely to have desires. And just generally pretty fighty. Not always in a good way. Well, that's interesting. That could be a second military unit. Greetings, stranger. I seek a fair and friendly relationship with you. Are you of similar mind? Now, it's worth remembering that in order to unlock new tribes for us to play, we have to either get into alliances with people or we have to conquer them. So what does it actually take to make an alliance happen? Requires at least 5 leverage. Forming an alliance with the leader will make him permanently friendly with you. He will never declare war on you and will automatically join all of your wars. How do we acquire leverage? Total amount of diplomatic currency you have to spend with this leader right now. So we currently have 1 just for having met him because our relationship level is 1. Sum total of relationship level, influence, and reputation being spent or used as part of one diplomatic exchange. Influence and reputation can be held back, in which case they don't contribute to overall leverage. So maybe our goal here is to get this guy on our team so that we can maybe play as the Picts in our next game. So he's erratic and nervous. Let's give him something. We have more treasure than we need, probably. We also have more food than we need. Yeah, let's give him food. It's a little bit easier to come by food. I'm just thinking that this is a little more replaceable. So our leverage is already 3. I don't know exactly how we're going to go about increasing it the rest of the way. We'll figure it out. So we could make these guys a hunter. That's not terrible. Or we could produce treasure for a turn and make them watchmen. Is that a thing that's actually valuable to do? It doesn't really... And they don't really care, it seems like, what you set them to do. The thing is, we don't really need to build watchtowers until we have other structures that we want to build, right? Let's just make them hunters for now. Doesn't cost anything to train them as a hunter, right? All right, Archer Man. I'm not too worried about those dudes. Let's just head up over here. The neutrals will take care of themselves. Alright, so Archer... The enemy is crippled and driven off. Your victorious army is left bloodied and sore. Right, we're going to need to figure out a way to heal. We're going to need to be able to reliably heal our units. That's the thing we care about. Okay, so we're bringing in timber now. We could think about actually putting together structures if we had the professions necessary to do so. We have nobody to train, so I guess we're just producing treasure. We should definitely be studying... So Lancers have 5 combat power but require horses. These guys don't. They have a higher training cost. Less effective in rough terrain due to their high supply cost, but they're fast. Honor Guards produce fame while having 5 power. Priests produce a large amount of knowledge. No, that's a level 5 profession in honor. That is not 5 power. So does it make it clear to us how much power they would have? Here we go. 10 power on spearmen. 15 power on lancers with 5 move points. That's pretty significant. This is probably not the direction we're going. I'm just looking at stuff. We need more ability to discover deposits, but I think we're going to get that mostly just by having more clans out there identifying things. We need some ability to make cloth. We need some ability to make oil. So we can get some of that stuff from agriculture, right? Am I remembering that correctly? Yeah, agriculture is where the pressers are, at the very least. But I don't really want to do the first research in agriculture until we have somebody that we could confer the 2 free levels on, right? So maybe we just continue to reach deeper here. Let's get miners. We're bringing in timber now. Let's get a structure that we could make with the timber. Clovis has agreed to follow the religion of Drest. Oh yeah, our buddy Drest. Is he the same religion we are? Because that could change. Yes, I think that's what he was, right? Apparently we met Clovis at some point. Pious and suspicious, that Clovis. We have -1 leverage with him. Ah, because he's suspicious. Fair enough. And yeah, Drest is that thing. So we are friends right now. Or no, he has 2 friends. I was like, we're level 2 friends. Each leader has an approach which determines their diplomatic behavior. The approach they choose is based on their leader trait. Okay, we don't even have the option of just, like, sending him a gift or anything. I'm not sure what our, like, diplomatic ability to generate additional leverage is going to look like. Alright, I have seized this bandit camp. I think we probably... A defense power will be halved. We probably want to finish this guy off and then pillage it, right? That's what we did last time. It seemed to work pretty well. Okay, so up here, whose territory is this? That's a bandit camp there. Who is blue? See, we can see that there's a border here, but we can't. It doesn't tell me who owns it. This is the Picts, so I guess we can deduce that this is the other guy. We certainly don't see any other players yet. Well, I don't really have any interest in stepping in here. Yeah, the Franks. Okay. Clovis of the Franks. Feels like it's probably not right to be producing so much treasure so early on. Maybe I'm not managing our time correctly. Okay, we've just now met Clovis. Expect a balmy winter. Hey, lucky us. Let's finish this guy off before he can finish digging in over here. Alright, Clovis, what's up? I seek a fair and friendly relationship with you. Are you of similar mind? Sure, yeah. Well, if we're going to have an easy winter, probably not too difficult to trade off some food. Produce again. Man, there's a ton of valuable land around us. It's weird that it lets you draw a path that will take multiple turns to traverse. But they seem to... It's not even every turn exactly, because we see sometimes they continue along a path we'd set previously. It seems like they just ask you again for orders kind of arbitrarily during the process of walking. Alright, we're definitely pillaging this, taking their treasure and horses and weapons. And also all of their wonderful points. Who we got here? We got Clan Rigobert, resourceful and gregarious. Training time for social professions halved, gains no experience in non-social professions. No other clans on their tile can commit crimes. That's very interesting. This is a really good clan. Probably we want to settle these guys, right? Because they'll prevent everybody in the settlement from committing crimes, if I'm understanding how this works correctly. That seems powerful. So let's visit the Caravan. What's the Caravan got? Oh, they got a lot of stuff today. They have 10 cattle. We could sell iron, but our iron is remarkably not valuable. We could also just upgrade the Caravan, and, like, we don't really know what we need right now. Oh, except cloth is really good. Let's buy cloth. Upgrading the Caravan would cost 20 of our remaining 21 treasure. I'm actually totally fine with that. Let's just get this Caravan all teched out. We'll see. Once we actually need things, it'll be nice to have somebody who can... it'll be nice to be able to buy them. So, what am I going to do with you? We don't really have a lot of good settled professions. We don't have any settled professions, actually. Yeah, what am I going to do with you? What do we need right now? What is proximal and important? You know what we could actually use right now is another digger for the moment. Or we could get a miner and just have you build mines. Or watchtowers. We can make you build watchtowers. Because right now we're working the only mine that's actually within our borders. We could build a watchtower over here, extend our borders somewhere, somewhere over here, extend our borders a bit, and then we'd be able to build structures within the range of the watchtower. Yeah, okay, that's an idea. Let us make you a watchman and explore how watchtowers work. And then coal makers create coal from timber, but you need some stone blocks to make that happen. And then we needed coal for something, didn't we? There's something I wanted to do that required coal. Okay, it's used by some of the food boosting professions, and it is also required to make steel out of iron. Interesting. There's a bunch of professions that require armor. We don't currently have a way of getting armor. That said, there's also a ton of professions that require weapons. Maybe it would be a good idea to have somebody who can actually make weapons. Glass blowers double your production of alcohol and non-meat foods. And that's a lot of types of food, man. Dredgers double the production of your diggers. I think it might be a good idea to have a weaponsmith. We should probably try to have more weapons than we have had previously, because we should probably try to have more troops than we had previously. We were definitely not in a place where we could reasonably defend ourselves. Speaking of reasonably defending ourselves, we do have to keep an eye out for the ability to heal. So we can explore a little bit with our archer here. We're a little bit weaker than this guy now due to all of our lost HP. But maybe I want to come down here and like feel out this area with him a little bit. Okay, here's a deserted something. Probably a place where we can find ourselves a bunch of weapons. Yep, 10 weapons, not bad. Okay, is it too cold now? Is indeed too cold now. Well, what else am I going to do with you? I guess we just move you back into our territory and have you sit for a bit. You throw them back in the settlement and do something with them there. I'm not really sure what it is, but it would seem to be the only sensible play. You are also cold. This is not really as relevant with you. I'm assuming that the miner can keep working in the cold, probably. Alright, so if we put you back in the settlement, what we need to study next is something else for you to do, right? So we'll take the agriculture bonus now, just confer some extra levels of agriculture on that particular guy, and then we'll figure it all out after that. Alright, here's a question. Do we actually want you to remain in agriculture? Yeah, that seems fine. So let us confer 2 extra levels of agriculture there. We have identified a large herd of sheep with our hunter. Seems like a fine time to forage, since our other food sources are getting a little bit more difficult to use. We were going to keep you a reaper, but like you can't reap right now. We could just, I guess, keep them on the tile because it's a pain to cross the river. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to have them in camp a bunch, because it's a pain to get across the river over and over again. Our watchman here can build us a watchtower. I'm going to try... Where do I want to put it? I'm going to try building a watchtower like right here, maybe? We'll extend our borders reasonably. We should have enough timber, I think. Okay, we found one of those healing mineral springs. I guess we'll just send our archer down there. What do we have here? This is a bandit camp, and these are just neutrals, probably? That tooltip. Yep. A neutral monastery. Pillaging them provides significant amounts of treasure, but lowers your fame and hurts relations with other Christian leaders. Well, then probably we should not do that, since we're very concerned about our relations with Christian leaders. Alright, and what am I going to do with you? You train you to be something else, and like, let's try to pick up another profession, shall we? Another profession in this thing. A settled profession. So if we made them a farmer, they'd be able to construct a farm. Or an apiary. These structures produce more than foraging. We have a bunch of plants around us. Yeah, maybe making this guy into a farmer would be a good thing to do. I mean, we'd have to wait for the research, obviously. In the interim, we could train them in agriculture, but doing so would cost us parchment, which we don't have. You just produce treasure. Feels kind of bad every single time, but I don't really want to pull them out of agriculture, since they have 4 levels in it already. Alright, well, I already kind of feel like we're in a better place than we were at the end of the last game. So you are just going to chill out here. I guess I don't really want to explore. We want to go straight for that mineral spring. This tile at least has some supply on it. I want to be a little bit careful around the bandit camp. And one more time we want to produce treasure. We'll get to train a new clan next turn. So I cannot construct right now because I need... Oh, quite a lot of timber, in fact. So watchtowers extend your borders by 3 tiles and can produce fame if assigned apprentices. You can construct it anywhere on the map, even outside of your existing borders. Alright, well, it says it expands our borders by 3 tiles. Does that mean just in the direction of the watchtower? Am I allowed to build the watchtower more than 3 tiles from my borders? Or does it always have to be within 3 tiles and the borders just extend out to it? I don't actually know how this works. I mean, I guess that's what we're doing here, right? Figuring this out. Like, if I built it right here, would it extend our borders to encompass all of this stuff? I think that's what I'm going to try. Turns out it's going to take a little bit longer than I thought. Our poor lumber gatherer has been having to encamp periodically. We've acquired some stubborn farmers. 2 additional turns to train when switching disciplines and bad stuff. Starts in the farmer profession and gets upset if forced outside of agriculture. Well, I guess we don't really need to research farmers quite so much. Yep, just stay right there until you can work there again. You, the watchman, are going to stand right here. Okay, so distance is not a problem here. It's just timber. I think I'm allowed to construct the watchtower there. So that is where we will wait. There are a lot of animals down here in the south. Alright, you are going to need timber to build your farm. So I don't necessarily want to send him out because, like, we're trying to get enough timber going to get get this watchtower built. You know, maybe we should just go ahead and swap Alond over to timber gathering. Or I guess we could what was it? There's a thing above timber gathering. There's a building you can build that harvests timber from the tile it's on and the adjacent tiles, right? Like here, that would actually be pretty. There's like a bunch of tiles with wood on them around here. Feels a little bad to sacrifice 4 levels of agriculture, but maybe it's worthwhile. Especially since we no longer need to train this guy as a farmer, since we just got a farmer out of the blue. Yeah, alright. I would like to make you a wood collector. Base cost 1 turn. Turns out wood collecting is a civilian profession, so they love it. Anything that doesn't require me to murder people. Alright, so wood collection for now. Fancy wood structure creation later. Gotta wait a couple more turns with you. I guess just chill out here. What direction do we want to search in next? We could search further to our east. Could go down here as well. I think I'm more curious about what's going on down there, but it's also kind of an inconvenient run from where I am. Yeah, I think it's still right, though. Alright, so we want to... I think I want to train in crafting. So that we can get up to that wood building thing. And actually, I want to pull these guys back and put them back in the settlement and give them the levels of crafting here, I think. And then we don't really want to train these guys. We want to... The thing I need them to do is a thing they can't do for right now. So I guess we're just producing treasure. When that caravan comes back, it's probably going to have some pretty cool stuff in it, thanks to all of the upgrades that we've given it. So maybe it's a good idea for us to have a bunch of treasure on hand. Alright, so you guys enter the settlement, which will allow me to give you the 2 levels of this, and then you immediately leave the settlement again to go and do a job. And I don't want to gather wood from these 2 tiles because I want to try to take advantage of that building potentially. We can build it out here too. We moved over that way. This tile doesn't actually have trees on it, despite the fact that it visually has trees on it. I guess they're not big enough for us to gather timber from. Yeah, you know what? We're probably not going to bother with the building if these aren't actually harvestable tiles. Let's just have them gather right there. One day you will be able to gather again. One day you'll be able to do a thing. So we have a bunch of guys sitting around awkwardly, not getting stuff accomplished. This, I'm sure, is an inefficiency that can be improved. We could be doing a better job of making sure everybody was useful. But that is why we are trying, is why we're probably going to cycle through the beginning of the game a couple of times until I sort of get a grasp of it. Sure feels like I don't want you to do anything. Again, I mean, we are saving up for the caravan, and that does seem valuable to me. The potters are pretty good. Weavers can get us cloth from wool or flax. We don't actually have access to flax. We know where there are sheep, but I don't actually know how you get wool from sheep. Wool is produced by wool collectors. I suppose that makes sense. Actually, wool collector is livestock, I'm assuming? Yep, livestock 5. Okay. So wool collectors get sheep from sheep in your stockpile, though, not sheep on the map. So we would first need to corral those sheep. So using wool to produce cloth is kind of a long process. There's a lot of stuff you have to do. And currently we're, using those sheep for other things. So that's not really on the table here. Could get some tool making going since we have the iron. That's probably a good idea. Genseric has praised Dressed. Can we just praise people? I want to praise him. Oh, we have 4 leverage. We're so close. How do we... Hello, I would like to give you stuff. I would like to say that you are wonderful to me. Nope, I can't praise him. Alright, hopefully we'll be able to start foraging again here any moment now. We're getting pretty close to being able to do this as well. Okay, we have another neighbor down here. Okay, you are fully healed, in fact. These guys are just neutrals. We want to go fight those bandits, though. Okay. Cold has finally withdrawn from our woodlands. Oh dear, we've met Emperor Valens of the Eastern Roman Empire. That's not so good. I don't want to be near the Roman Empire, I don't think. Let's give them a gift so that they will like us. Turns out I have lots of food. Clovis and Genseric are at each other's throats. Wow, look at all that wheat. Alright, the final turn where we don't have enough wood. We finally managed to get our second forager going. Is it still cold? Really? It is still cold. Alright. I did not think it was going to be such a big deal when I sent this guy out to reap. Apparently, he is a huge baby. He has no interest in working if he is not optimally comfortable. Everybody else is getting stuff done. Alright, so let's construct a watchtower and see exactly how this works. Our health is not great, again. If I just chill here, I heal, right? He's at 80% health right now, so we shall see if his health is higher. Alright, do we want to... What do we want to pick up next? We could get bread makers. We have a lot of wheat. We'd be feeding wood into the bread ovens constantly, which we really can't afford to do. We could be increasing production from these guys. Grinders make food into a much larger amount of food. Wow, 1 food and 1 salt makes 10 food. Jesus. That's very effective. But maybe we want to focus more on being able to fight. Because this archer's getting the job done, but it would be better. The archer has 4 power. Spearmen have 10. That's a big difference. And we actually potentially have the ability to make the weapons to make spearmen viable. How much does it take to make a farm? Farmers construct farms out of timber. How much timber? It doesn't actually... Okay, here. Alright, so it seems like a lot of structures cost 20 timber. This guy is not ready to put down. Also, remember, it has to be a structure that's within our borders. Maybe we should just retrain him to something else. But he gets upset if he's not in agriculture, right? And we don't actually have another good agriculture thing to train him in. Yeah, alright. Let's keep making treasure. We're going to have a new clan show up in a minute here. We can train them in something else. Alright, so our archer did heal back up. We gotta really watch his supply level. It's like the presence of these neutrals is really making things awkward. The enemy is left rattled, your army bloodied and sore. I assume that they will also heal from being next to the thing. You know, with his health being all the way back up, why don't we just send him home? and maybe retrain him as a spearman. Because him being an archer is not quite getting the job done. Alright, the caravan has a lot of interesting stuff now. What do we actually need? We can buy armor, we can buy salt. Man, there's a lot of stuff we could buy. We could buy a bunch of horses. And then use the horses to make better military units. Instead of going for spearmen, we could train horsemen. What was it called? Lancers? Lancers cost 20 weapons, same as the spear. They require 2 supply to be healthy, though. That is a cost. Yeah, we're gonna keep going for spearmen. So, is there anything that I do really want to buy? I guess we still don't actually have our weapon production up. Yeah, all right. Let's buy some weapons. Do I want to buy? Do I want to use all of my treasure? No, let's buy up to 20 weapons. We'll hold there for the moment. We can save some treasure for gift giving and stuff. Also, I don't know that I really need more than that. What we need is more clans, honestly. We need more fame. I don't really know a good way to get fame. Well, I mean, we know that there's a bunch of professions that we could start that would give us fame. Alright. Impulsive Miners, Clan Adelfried. They're more likely to have desires, and obviously they want to be metalworkers. Well, we have a bunch of ways that they could be metalworkers. Okay, so the watchtowers... Okay, what it meant by extends your borders by 3 spaces is you get everything within 3 spaces of the watchtower. I see. That's interesting. It's pretty powerful. Alright, we can probably start heading back with him. You guys... Actually, can miners identify deposits? I don't know if they can. There's still quite a lot of iron left here. 15 turns of iron. Maybe what we'll do is we'll have this guy jump out here and identify that deposit. This guy come over here and... How much is it? Is it going to be 20 timber? It's going to be 20 timber. Well... I mean, he can just wait here. We could also send him back to the settlement to become some other kind of metalworking thing. Right? We have blacksmiths. Yeah, they could become blacksmiths. We've acquired a ton of tools. We're not actually using them yet. Blacksmiths or weaponsmiths. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know which one we'll do, but I think probably we do not need a miner at this moment. And we can afford to not be working the iron mine for a second. Alright, so get back inside the settlement. We're going to retrain you in some other type of metalworking. Do I want tools or weapons more? We need tools for high-level professions, so I guess that's a little bit more of a distant concern. We have enough weapons to train a good troop, but what if we had enough weapons to train all of the good troops? Alright, you have run out of timber. Alright, it's going to take him forever to get back home. It was good to be able to heal him, though. So when we pick up and move our settlement, the watchtower will keep this our area, at least until somebody comes by and pillages it, right? Seems awfully powerful. Alright, so you guys are currently weaponsmithing. Yep, we're converting iron into weapons. It does feel like we're still just going to sit here and produce treasure a lot. So we could... You know what? We now are going to have the food to set up a farm. let's do this. What kind of farms can we set up? Wheat, fruit, honey, barley, olives. Okay, well, we certainly have wheat. We have sources of wheat. Maybe I'll set up a wheat farm over here on this larger wheat deposit. And then, yeah, the settlement's just going to produce treasure. We can't train clans and disciplines without parchment, and I didn't buy any because it doesn't seem good. It doesn't seem that useful. Especially with us not having researched any upgrades. Like, the big reward for hitting level 10 in a discipline doesn't actually seem to exist for us yet. Alright, what do I want to do with you? I guess there's still more room to explore down here, or maybe it's all the Roman Empire down here. So to build the higher level thing, you just need as many stone blocks as you originally needed timber. And the structures made from stone blocks do not degrade the resource deposit. These are the key to a sustainable empire, a kingdom, if you will. Man, crossing rivers is miserable. So at some point we're going to have enough weapons. I don't know when that's going to be. You probably don't need to worry about stopping that guy now. Yeah, I wonder if a lack of fame might be our problem. If we're spending so much time generating treasure because we don't have enough fame to be bringing in population at the rate we're supposed to be bringing it in. We could try to buy enough stone blocks. Like, we could buy the 10 stone blocks they have available now. Or, wait, these are 12 each though, right? Yeah, we could buy 5 stone blocks now and hope to acquire 15 more later. We could get some sheep in our stockpile. One sheep from your stockpile is automatically turned into food if you start to starve. But it doesn't, like, we don't have to pay any upkeep on sheep or anything. The fact that they ordinarily eat doesn't, like... Okay, I mean, having animals seems like a good thing. Now we can put together a wool collector and just have a source of cloth. Seems pretty valuable to me. That might be a good thing to research next. We're going to need more knowledge, and we're going to need more fame. It's alright, we will figure out good sources of all of these things. You can make fame out of even just like timber, if I remember correctly. The wood carver profession. So it's not like it's super hard to get fame. You just have to actually devote a little bit of time to it. Alright, so we want to train Clan Mannheim to be spearmen. Just like way more effective. And we've identified a large iron deposit. So do we want to... Do we want to have you come back and become a proper miner and build a mine on the deposit? For additional efficiency? Maybe. We could just forage, obviously. We're still a little pressed for timber. Yeah, you know what? For right now, why don't you just forage on it? Alright, so let's talk about increasing our rate of fame gain, especially since we have a source of some cloth now, although we will need to get weavers. No, not weavers. We'll need to get the livestock profession and get a wool collector. In 2 turns, we're going to get a new clan. I would like to research livestock maybe after we get the new clan. So we will need a weaver after we get the wool collection going. Then we're going to need sources of knowledge as well, because we could probably be researching a lot faster. I've received a gift from Rome. It was food. Hooray. Feels like this explorer could just come home and become something else, right? Like, he doesn't have to be an explorer. Although he can't be anything social. Alright, now let's head down here and try to mess these guys up. One more turn of treasure production. Alright, let's hope that this new clan has an affinity for livestock. They are petty and meek. So we don't necessarily want them in the city, right? Oh, but in fact, their meek trait probably, the fact that they never commit or never engage in feuds, this probably overwrites that. So they can't be trained in social professions. Their morale is bad, but they never do any of the negative tile behaviors. So actually, they would seem to be a pretty good, like, settled livestock kind of thing. You have run out of trees. We need to get, like, all the way down here. So we could... No, I could not train you as anything yet. Not anything I want you to be. Well, it turns out, produce treasure. Well, we're feeling pretty stocked up on food. Let's get a little livestock training going here. Expect a frigid winter. That sounds real bad. I don't know exactly, like, to what degree frigid. How frigid? How bad's that going to be? We don't have... And they could also become farmers, I guess? We do have other sources of wheat nearby. But you know what I should have him do is I should have him come down here and identify this deposit. That was already grabbed. That was already grabbed. Just wreckage. I guess we could explore up this way. I don't necessarily need to turn him into anything else just yet. We want to produce treasure one more turn, and then we'll do some livestock stuff here. Oh, we should increase our clan limit. So, in order to found a kingdom, Dressed of the Picts has an important matter to discuss. We are friends, and he is giving us treasure. I can just say thank you. We do not have a response that increases our relationship level. And we've lost all of our leverage. So is relationship level temporary? -2 for being nice to his enemy Clovis. See. Having a strong relationship level will make another leader less likely to attack and more inclined to positive diplomatic interactions. So, I'm just going to say thank you and take this. So they are way more aware of what we're doing with the other factions than I thought. Alright, we can train you now to be a weaver. It doesn't really help to train you to be a weaver just yet. What we really need is... You know, it wouldn't be terrible to have ranchers. Is the wool thing the next level up? Yeah, wool collector is the next level up. Okay, so that being the case, we gotta get something in here. Trappers. Don't need fishermen. We probably don't need meat cutters. Like, we're doing okay on food. I guess rancher would be broadly useful. I don't know that we will make her a rancher, but it would be good to have a rancher. Alright, what does the caravan have for us today? What do we really need? Apparently, tools are selling at a premium. But I don't really like what do we need? What do we actually need the treasure for? Uh you just buy a bunch of parchment. Hold on a second. Where is Oh, it's in our settlement. The declare kingdom action requires 25 parchment, and that's all it requires. So actually, if we're not going to develop a way to get parchment, we want to buy ourselves some parchment now and try to store up for eventually being able to do that. So let's buy 6 parchment, maybe sell some of our weapons. We're pretty close to being able to train another spearman, but we don't have a clan that we necessarily would want to do that with. We also could just sell some iron, but now let's... If I wanted to buy the rest of these, I'd need to produce another 60 treasure. We could sell enough tools to make, or enough weapons to make that happen. You know what? I think that's reasonable. Okay. This UI is starting to expand off of the screen a little bit. So we could just... Nope, you still don't have a livestock thing to become. We could just produce treasure. It doesn't feel right, but I certainly don't want to spend parchment training a clan in a discipline. Honestly, like, the spot we're in feels really good. You're supposed to find a place where you're comfortable being for the rest of the game, because once you make your settlement into a kingdom, you can't move anymore. But honestly, it might not be very far from here. We started in a really good spot. There's still a lot of deposits around. Like, I've depleted a little bit of stuff around here, but we would not have to move very far. Honestly, even just down here somewhere might be good enough. We already hit the part of the year where you won't work anymore. We have. Well, we could bring you back in and make you some other kind of agriculture thing. What do we have right now? We could make you a farmer, and you could go build a farm. Yeah, okay, that sounds alright. Because the farm is still working, right? Even though it's cold on this tile? Yeah, we need structures. Structures are far less vulnerable to the elements than our random dudes are. Also, the person in the farm is not throwing a fit about being cold, which is nice. Oh, hey, that is a bandit raider. We do not want to be here. Now, wood production is going to slow a little bit, remember. I'm going to deuce treasure for one more turn, and then we'll train that livestock clan as a rancher. Wow, it really is a frigid winter, huh? Right, you can become a rancher. We definitely have enough wood to support ranching. And then we want wool collector next, even though it's going to take forever. Do we want wool collector next, even though it's going to take forever? Maybe what I want to do is actually go into discovery and get one of those knowledge producing professions. And then we could go for something big like this. Because 9 turns is an awful lot of time. Doesn't look like any of this stuff produces knowledge. We definitely have some fame production. Yeah, I might need more knowledge. We don't have anybody to take the 2 free levels of discovery boost, but maybe I don't care about that enough to allow that to delay research into discovery. I guess we don't currently have a clan that would become whatever profession we're trying to pick up, but we're going to have a new clan in 5 turns. So yeah, I think I want to do the research. Let's try to have whatever profession we want to put a person in ready when they arrive. Okay, we got an abandoned, deserted village over here. Yeah, structures are good. It is a good idea to make structures. Alright, we're going to just pass on that. Alright, so lore keepers just make knowledge. There's no input, you just get knowledge. That seems like a thing we ought to have. Hopefully, this clan that's coming along will be reasonable at lore keeping. Why don't you just encamp then? You probably also should encamp this turn. But you are also, yeah, everybody whose supply is critical should just take a turn, get yourself sorted out. It's going to be a long, unpleasant winter, it turns out. You just have a supply shortage. That's better. Then requires one supply. So if I encamp, we'll go back up to feeling all right. 2 extra supply. Then we'll wake up the next turn if it has enough supply to meet its needs. But when we have a shortage, nothing bad is actually... You have 1 turn grace period when you can lack sufficient supply and suffer no ill effects, but you lose morale. Okay, so we want to encamp here, I think, is my understanding. Do ranchers have the ability to identify? Looks like maybe no. So maybe what I want to do here is pull you over to this animal. Oh, right. In order to build a pasture, we're going to have... what do you call it? We're going to have a watchtower over there. We can only build structures within our control. So she, I think, can't identify this. Hunter, trapper, or surveyor? Well, we don't have the ability for her to become any of those things, right? I didn't actually learn trapper. So... it would be nice to have made a surveyor at some point. So she can just wait for the hunter to come over here and handle it. Again, I've built us some inefficiency here. Having people stand around and wait on other people feels pretty bad. Apparently I cannot issue a move order quite that distance. I think that's what we're going to have to do. In fact, you can just get back inside the settlement. There's no reason for you to be out here freezing. Okay. Let us do violence to these, all of these neutrals. We do not want to pillage the monastery. Okay, well, we found ourselves a fair amount of wealth. This is a nice area over here, when it's not frozen, probably. There's some interesting neutral buildings. Like, this might actually be a really good place to settle. Potentially. You got all kinds of deposits everywhere. There's a river. There's some trees. Not maybe a lot of trees, but some trees. Yeah, this would not be a horrible place for a kingdom. Maybe that will be our focus next episode, because I think we're getting close to the end of this one. Let's finish this turn out. So, I could retrain you as something else temporarily, but then we'd lose those levels of livestock that I worked to get you. So you probably just like sit around and do nothing. I have to be better in future games about making sure that we have some identifiers just running around identifying nodes in the early game, I think. I knew that that was more important than I made it seem last game, but it's even more important than I thought at the beginning of this game. So we're still learning. Okay, and with that, I think this will be a good place to stop. So thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time, tomorrow, when we maybe try to get in the direction of founding a kingdom. I'm not sure that kingdom spot we found is like amazing, but I think we want to put a kingdom down and like try out that phase of the game, right? So, yeah, come back for tomorrow for that, and we'll see you then.